I want to show one example of how I'm conducting competitive research using ChatGPT. Here's an example where I am evaluating the company Morse Watchmans. And one of the things that I'm evaluating as part of the framework is reviewing their case studies to see which customers have they worked with, what was the job to be done there, geography, industry, and the products mentioned. So to work with ChatGPT, I first thought I need to try this out on my own before I ask it for help. So I opened the first link, holding individuals accountable, and I scroll through this. So the first thing is this is the name of the company. So I added the name of the company here. And it's state of the art medical facility, and it's the largest and most progressive hospital. So it's a hospital. And the location is Columbia, South Carolina. Let's actually keep these side by side so you can see both. So you can see the Palmetto Health in South Carolina, US, and healthcare industry. Now let's see what was their need. Here it talks about what did they do before. Here it talks about what was the issue. So that is the need. Keeping track of who had issued a key and when and where it was used or returned. They didn't have an efficient procedure for controlling or monitoring the master keys. We really need it. It comes to we really need it, it's not the need, it's the want, or it's after what you already know what you want. So it's this paragraph which tells us the need or job to be done. It's who has issued a master key and when and where it was used or returned. Now let's look at what products. So they are saying that they searched for this. They are talking about power check guard tour system was in place. So it was already in place. So it seems they already knew the company through that. And they selected this other product, Key Watcher. So I've added the name Key Watcher in products mentioned. The reason I have not added Guard 2 system is because I'm doing competitive analysis only related to key management systems. So you'll see here, or key control system. So here it says Key Watcher Key Control System. So I'm only doing an analysis for that. Now that I have this, let's look at how many other case studies do we have. So we have quite a lot of case studies. This is quite a lot to uh, review one by one. So that's where I wanted to see whether ChatGPT can help us. I use the chat. So first, I'm going to show you what worked okayish, and then I'll also show you the other approach that worked better, and we'll compare these two. So first, I tried the web browsing approach. I told it what I want. I gave it the structure of information I want, and I gave it an example. My hope was that by telling it that I wanted a table, but that I'm not really able to input a table to it easily, it'll understand that this needs to get transposed so that it can create a table. Also, I expected it to parse all the case studies on that website and fill all of those out. So the first response, it reviewed two of those and filled out the information. And I'm guessing it also, yeah, looks like there are a lot of click failed. So it gave me two buckets, but again, this is not in tabular format and it's not that it doesn't have all the case studies. So let's see how many case studies are there. We have 42 case studies. So it gave me 2 out of 42. So it said I will continue this task. So yeah, I said continue. Then chat GPT gave me two responses which actually were the same as before, but instead of using the structured format I gave it, now made it a paragraph. So this was useless. I didn't really review this and I just told it to continue. I thought maybe it's the first two are done, then the next two are done, then the next two are done. So maybe it'll keep continuing. So it gave me two more, but it turned out one of them is the same as before, one of them is new. And the format is slightly degraded because these are not bolded. So then I tried to ask it to combine it into a table, which is what I wanted. So yes, it formatted it well. This is fine. I realized that the use case was not accurately represented here because it's talking about how this product was used versus what I want is the jobs to be done or the need. Mm. I tried to give it more information from its earlier output. So it had given me three outputs: Rockland, Walworth, and Lincoln's Inn. It combined the two, it didn't combine the third. So I asked it to combine the third, it did it as well. I gave it two more URLs. Again, it let's see, what did it give? It gave me some output, but it was incomplete, I think. So I tried again. I guess, yeah, now I remember the challenge. It changed the columns. It did not organization, case study, challenge, solution. None of these were the columns. This was not the order of the columns that I wanted. Let's see, how did it proceed after this? So I tried to tell it that I will give you web page information. And in fact, I told it, do not browse the web. All the information you need is here. Because I realized that it's browsing web doesn't work very well. The output was horrible. Let's see. Finished browsing. So every time it started browsing, that's why I killed it. So next I tried to just give it that information. So again, I told it the format, and because this is a new chat, I gave it one sample output and I gave it the web page. This time it worked better. It gave me this thing, but it didn't give me as a table. So I asked it as a table. Then I realized this use case is really big. Also, it's use case, it's not jobs to be done. So I told it to change it to jobs to be done. So now it gave me the jobs to be done. Next, I told it to reduce it and use incorrect grammar or incomplete sentences if required. So this worked well. So this seemed to be something that I could reproduce. And I gave it the next case study that also came out well. So now let's try out one case study together. Let's see, Lenel. This one is not yet done. So I'm going to try this, and let's paste this and see how it works out. So I don't want to paste the URL. I want to copy the text. So I've copied the text, and let's see if there's any other prompt to give. Do the same with this website. Do the same with. Okay. Now let's see how the output comes. Partnership of, I don't really need this information. Required an electronic solution to prevent keys. This sounds more like a solution than a problem. It required this to prevent this, but probably what its problem is that the keys were being taken off site. And reducing man hours is not a job to be done. They probably had a lot of man hours wasted on something. Geography is not specified, but let's see. And Mongery and security products mentioned Lenel systems integration package. So this is interesting. Maybe it was okay. Let's connect the dots between the output and the input. So let's take a look. The first is this seems to be talking about their own stuff. Lenel Systems is a leading provider of software and security systems. Okay, so it seems like they were working with a independent vendor. So their expertise have been to provide keyboard watcher, and it's provided with an integrated platform. Here's the key watcher, and that's connected to network hub, access system. KeyPro is the software from key watcher, so that is all provided. And I don't see the country mentioned here, but since they mentioned UK, probably that's the country here. So Hudson being a value added reseller. So it looks like there's one independent vendor which can connect with KeyWatcher, but their systems are also resold through Hudson. So Hudson may not even be the customer. And which is why probably ironmongery and security is the industry which is coming up, although that's not the industry of the customer. So this is in passive tense and it is talking about solution. Allocated keys will only allow users to walk offsite through an airlock. It's talking a lot about the solution, and I'm guessing this is not a good case study example because it doesn't talk about a customer. It talks about it's making it broad. I don't want broad. So I'm going to put an A here and try out the next one together. Let's see for this. And here I see there's a customer name mentioned. So I'm more hopeful about this. So can I paste this all? Let's, while we wait for the output, let's scroll through it on our own. Plaza Hotel in New York. This is again talking about some kind of solution. It's not talking about the prior to okay. Utilized hard keys for guest room access. Okay, so sounds like they had two system upgrades. This seems to be capturing it well. Just that it's really long. Let's give it the prompt we gave it earlier because the, the answer is really long. So it's creating a revised version of the table. Key control system for new plastic cards and hard keys required quick audit trail. But the key control system is not for the plastic keys. It's only for the and it's only for the hard keys. It's not for plastic cards. The solution they used is Key Watcher, yes, and Key Pro, yes. It's controlling 100 keys used by staff for guest room entrance. Okay, let's use this. Uh, what we'll need to do is we'll copy this information, but edit the need or jobs to be done. So this it's not very comforting because it suggests that we'll not be able to we it suggests that we will not be able to use this uh, for blindly getting the results. So I'm now going to edit the information here, and we know that the key control system was for hard keys, but it was not really for the plastic cards, and it required quick audit trail. Sounds like a solution. Let's check what's the problem statement here. Because so many of the hotel staff required to enter a guest room, programming needed to accommodate eight different. So this is again programming is already after the solution. Some interrogated. It's necessary to secure and control the security keys, and also to be able to manage the key. Okay, so it's not really quick, but required audit trail. That's how we can put the need here. So let's add that. And here I see some guard tour system. So these may not be relevant to me. Before I paste it to ChatGPT, let's review it. Let's Key watcher is also mentioned here. So that means this may also work. Extract from this web excerpt. So it's creating an output. Saratoga Gaming. This is fine. Location Saratoga Springs is in New York. New York, okay. Entertainment, gaming, and raceway, Morse Watchman, Power Check, Guard Tour System, Tour, Pro Software, Key Watcher. So we know that these were mentioned. The need or jobs to be done. automated recording of fire watch and building checks. Let's search for fire. Ah, this is again a solution perspective to the problem. The challenge might have more information. What I don't know is what I'll need to do to improve ChatGPT on this is give it a few right examples, few wrong examples of what the need or job to be done is. Then I expect it will be better here. I'll prepare those examples next, and maybe I can use the earlier example how I change. But one is the right example of extracting the right information. The second is just in general extracted information. For example, it said key control system for plastic cards, but cards don't have a key control system. Now that's going to be harder to explain to it. Required quick audit trail versus required audit trail is close enough that it may think this is the same. So I may need a more drastic difference in its extraction versus my interpretation. So we have this. Um, So there are mandated procedures such as daily checks of multiple buildings. Okay, so this looks like the need here. So we will use this as the need. Seems to be, and so and this and the second is use large amounts of cash, so it needs to be strictly enforced and requires a safe and needs to be enforced. Now strictly is an adverb, so I don't see the need for using it. I've removed it. And so now we can say that record all firewatch and building checks. Once we have earlier information, then we can add the solution based uh, prescription for it. So it has used it as is. I want it to be smaller. I will again paste the earlier note to it. Mandated. So this is with ChatGPT 4, GPT-4, which means I'm really burning through a lot of my uh, limits, 25 limits. Daily building checks, key access enforcement due to cache, automated. Okay, this is fine. This is better. I will copy this, paste it here, and I need to edit this information because I don't need the brand name again and again. I also don't care about the guard 2 system. This is the same. Okay, now this is what I was looking for. So it seems that this may not release. The biggest problem that it's not able to solve for is needs of jobs to be done. The other things it's able to do. So next I'm going to focus on how to make it better at this, extracting the job to be done.